Hey everyone, Theo here. Today I'm reviewing the Logitech MX mechanical keyboard. I purchased this specifically for review purposes and it's a really good keyboard. However, I'm probably not going to keep it for reasons which I will explain later. The price for this is US $150. There is a larger version, the full-size version, that is US $170. This is definitely a pricey keyboard. In this video, I'm just going to present to you my findings and you can decide whether or not this is worth the money. So let's start with the bottom line. This is a beautiful keyboard with solid build quality. The keys are well laid out. The keys and switches provide very nice tactile typing experience. The function keys have useful shortcuts and this keyboard can be paired to 3 devices. There is USB-C charging. You can expect battery life from 15 hours to months depending on the backlight you use. Unfortunately, this is only for charging. You cannot use the keyboard in wired mode. One important thing to note is the new Logitech Boat receiver is not interchangeable with the older Logitech unifying receiver. So if you are using an older Logitech keyboard or mouse, you won't be able to pair that device with the new receiver. So you either use Bluetooth with your older device or you use these two receivers together. The Logitech keyboard software works quite well and can be used to remap keys, adjust the backlight and other settings. I've been using this keyboard for almost 2 weeks now and it works great with Mac OS and Windows, and you can also use this with iPad OS, iOS, Chrome OS, Linux and Android. Let's look at the items included in the box. That's a USB-C to USB-A charging cable, quick start guide, warranty info, Logitech Boat wireless receiver. The Logitech MX Mechanical is only available in this graphite color and it's a two-tone design which looks lovely. This keyboard is made with around 45% recyclable material and the top case is made with aluminum. It's just this thin shiny part here that is aluminum. Everything else is plastic. Build quality is very solid. There is no flex at all. This mini keyboard is 612 grams. The full version is 828 grams. On the back there are 2 fold out feet. There's rubber here with good grip on the table here as well, and this is a long piece of rubber. The Logitech MX Mechanical is said to be a low-profile keyboard, however it's still much taller compared to other low-profile keyboards that I have, such as this Apple wireless keyboard. The tallest part of this Apple keyboard is still lower than half the height of the Logitech keyboard. And this is my other keyboard, the Logitech K780, which is my main keyboard, and this keyboard is also lower compared to the mechanical keyboard. That's the power switch, and that's the power light indicator, which will go off after a few seconds. And when the keyboard is powered on, you will see the lights turn on as well. Whether they remain on or off after a few seconds will depend on your lighting settings. That's the USB-C charging port. Battery life can last from 15 hours to 10 months depending on your backlight settings, and there are different lighting patterns you can choose from. So this is the static mode where all the keys are lit. I'm going to use the software to change the lighting mode. You can also use the keyboard shortcut function and light to change the pattern. So this is the contrast lighting mode. This is breathing. This is wave. This is reaction, where the keys will light up whenever you type. And this is random. This keyboard has proximity sensor, so when your hands are near, the backlight will automatically turn on. Let's take a closer look at the keys and switches. The keycaps can be removed quite easily. This is quite thin. These mechanical switches are made by Carl, and there are 3 types to choose from. There is the brown tactile quiet, the red linear, which is the one that I have here, and the blue clicky. I actually wanted to buy the tactile quiet, but there wasn't any stock, so I had to purchase the red linear instead. Clicky is too loud for me. And this is how the linear keys sound. The keys sound nice to me. The keys have good travel, they are quite springy, very responsive. The overall tactile experience is really nice. The mini version of this keyboard has 84 keys and the layout is quite similar to keyboards you can find on laptops, with the main difference being this additional column with the home and pitch up, pitch down buttons, and the arrow keys are slightly pushed to the right side compared to directly beneath the enter button, and the shift key is shorter due to the up arrow here, and there is a function button on the right side instead of the left where it's commonly found. This layout should be easy to get used to once you spend enough time with it. In the first few days, I keep hitting the home button when I actually want to press the backspace or delete, and I keep hitting the pitch up button when I just want to press enter. But now I don't have any issues with hitting the wrong buttons. For Windows users, because the alternate and control are separated by the function key, you won't be able to press Control Alternate Delete with one hand. Let's look at the function key shortcuts. This is the function lock. These three buttons are for switching between your connected devices. These two are for the backlights, dictation button, emoji keyboard, print screen. On Windows, you will get some options for print screen. On macOS, it allows you to draw a box for the print screen. The mic mute, search, play and pause, volume controls, lock screen, scroll lock. This is the right click options button, insert. That's it. If you don't use any of the shortcuts such as the dictation button or the emoji keyboard button, you can always customize your own shortcuts or keyboard shortcuts, but you cannot program macros into the keys. For home and pitch up and down, you can get the same functionality with function arrow button. So with function left, it's home, function right, it's end, function up and down, it's pitch up and down. So you don't need the duplicated shortcuts here, and you can customize these four to whatever shortcuts you want. The keys that can be customized are from F4 all the way to the right side here and down to pitch down. If you need to remap other keys, you probably will have to install some key remapping software such as Sharp Keys on Windows. I'm not sure what's the equivalent software on macOS. One thing I don't quite like about this keyboard is the keys can get greasy or grimy quite quickly, and it's not as easy to clean this keyboard compared to the chiclet style membrane keyboards that I have. Earlier on, I mentioned the Logitech boot receiver and the Logitech unifying receiver are not interchangeable, which means you cannot connect your old Logitech devices using the new Logitech boot receiver. And even if you can connect your older Logitech mouse or keyboard with Bluetooth to your computer and it shows up here in the driver, in the new driver, you won't be able to customize anything from or for your old device. So this new Logi Options Plus driver is only for new Logitech or recent Logitech devices. Let's see what you can do with the driver. That's the battery life indicator. So this is where you can customize the keys. Let's go into one of them. You can set your own keyboard shortcuts, or you can choose from the list of predefined shortcuts here. It's quite a long list, and you can create shortcut groups. So you can create a group of shortcuts for maybe Photoshop, another group of shortcuts for another software you use, and the shortcuts will change automatically depending on the software you are using. It's actually quite useful. Here you can change the backlight effect using the software, or you can use the keyboard shortcuts on the keyboard itself. And these are the 6 effects you can choose. And this allows you to switch between the devices, which you can already do so using the 3 buttons on the keyboard. Oops, what happened there? Let's go into the settings. You can choose to use the function buttons as function buttons. And I think that's pretty much it. Let me show you my other keyboards and compare them to the Logitech MX Mechanical and explain why I am not going to keep this keyboard, even though this is a very well designed keyboard that has excellent typing experience and many useful features. So this is my main keyboard, the Logitech K780. That's the sound of thunder because it's raining quite heavily right now. So the K780 is the keyboard that I will continue to use because I just find the phone and tablet dock here to be extremely useful, and I use the number pad quite often, and this keyboard is easier to clean and it's still working, so there is no reason for me to buy a new keyboard when this one is still working. These two keyboards are actually backups. I need these two keyboards as backups because they can be used in wired mode. This is the Lenovo ThinkPad keyboard. There is a Bluetooth version for it, but the Bluetooth version cannot be used in wired mode, so I have to get the wired version of that keyboard. And this is the Apple wireless keyboard, which can be used in wired mode. The reason why wired mode is important is because I have on several occasions experienced not being able to log in because there wasn't any Bluetooth connection for whatever reason, which is why now I have wired keyboards as backups. By the way, the Bluetooth connection for this keyboard is really good. When I restart my Mac, the Bluetooth connection takes a while longer compared to the K780 before it can recognize the Mac, but after that the Bluetooth connection is really good. And also the connection with the Logi boat receiver is also very good. Alright, to conclude, this is a beautiful, well-designed, well-built keyboard with excellent typing experience, and the shortcut keys are very useful and customizable. The main downsides for me would be you cannot use this keyboard in wired mode and the keys can get greasy quite easily, and there is no space or place on board the keyboard to store the Logi boot receiver. If you are looking for a more affordable wireless mechanical keyboard, you can look at the keyboards from Keychron. They have a keyboard that looks almost similar to this, and it's just half the price. So you can do some research on that keyboard, which is the Keychron K3 if I'm not wrong. Alright, I hope this review is useful. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye!